coverage that and the media that is following the game now is a tremendous departure from the last 20 years. If we look at the progression and improvement, it's just light years ahead of where we were. The respect that is given in the media, the respect that we get in the commercials with the Gatorade, with Nike, with, you know, in the past we never got the respect that we're getting now. And as we look at that, the participation, if we can now move forward, these are the professional players. The youth participation numbers from back in 1990 to today, the game has moved light years forward. The coaching education has progressed. The coverage in the media. In 1990 we have 1.6 million players, youth players. In 2010 we have 3 million plus. The next slide. And the U.S. men's national team, we're ranked 16 in the world, which is a major accomplishment. We know we want to go further, but we got to recognize how far we've come. With the registered players and unregistered players, and what's the participation? The participation levels have exploded, and with the participation and the coverage, I think we have almost a tidal wave that is of progression and development that we've had in this country. So I don't think we really recognize how far we've come in such a short time. And I don't. One of the points that we wanted to cover. Can we go one more slide? With the television coverage, I talked about it here. The growth. The 75 million international soccer fans in the United States. That's a hugely still untapped market. The competitors that we have. Most of them are saturated. I mean, where is England going to go? They're already crazy about it. I mean, you know, we as a country have the most untapped potential in the world. And that untapped potential over the next 20 years in our development is going to come in huge. The World Cup viewership is coming on par with the biggest other sports, and that's going to improve and that's going to grow. You know, we have different research studies that are proving that our game is growing tremendously, and you can see some of the statistics there. And you know, based on these numbers and the contrast that we have from the 1990 to the 2010, that's the last 20 years, we wanted to kind of explore and look at what is the next 20 years going to look like. And we bounced around it in our group, and we talked about it, and we believe that it's not only possible but highly probable that we're going to host another World Cup between now and then, and it's going to be a huge success like the previous one that we had. The previous 1994 World Cup is the most watched World Cup and the most successful World Cup to date, and we're going to probably have another one like that. The World Cup was a huge boost for the game in the country, and then we had the professional league that came on. It was a huge boost for us, and that's continuing to grow and continuing to develop. So as we look to 2030 World Cup, we think that based on the progression where we were in 1990, where we are now, and if that growth continues in that kind of curve, we believe that we're going to be one of the favorites in the World Cup. And maybe we're not going to win it because it's a round ball by that time, but we're going to be one of the favorites. We believe that we're going to have probably 5 or 6 superstars by that time. We believe that the MLS is going to grow tremendously, and we believe that it's going to be very much to our liking. You know, here in this room, we're all a part of this growth over the last 20 years. Some more than others through coaches' education, and you know, Paul Caligiuri probably a huge impact that he had through his participation. We have an impact as a player. We have an impact as a fan. We have an impact as an ambassador of the game. Every kid that you cut is part of the growth of the sport in this country. How you handle that, every parent that you talk to, you know, no matter how weird that interaction may be and where they are coming from, can we have the patience? Can we be grateful for even those parents? Can we be grateful for a referee? Can we be grateful for a referee that comes and participates, shows up even though he's not that good?
Or lines.
You know, for lack of anyone else showing up, you know, he's there, he's part of the game, he's part of the process, he's part of the growth. Do we want to alienate people? Do we want to grow this sport even more? You know, sometimes we get stuck in the X's and O's, but really we're promoters, we're ambassadors, we're marketers, we're much more than any you know, that type of stuff. And it's a matter of focus and where we focus. You know, and sometimes the frustrations of the particular situation can get to us, but really, if we look around ourselves, the huge growth. I mean, how the plans for the 14s, the plans for the 17s, the 18s, we've heard a lot of depth, a lot of detail. I mean, just think of where we're going to go from here, you know. So I wanted to open it up to everyone. What do you see in 2030? How can you see it progressing? What do you see really developing? And what is going to be the end result? I would, you know, invite any comments or suggestions.